Hey golfers, by the end of this video, you are going to be a better golfer because you are going to learn how to hit 4 different golf shots. You're going to learn how to hit a low shot, a high shot, a fade, and a draw. Learning to hit all 4 of these ball flights is going to make you a more versatile golfer and help you so much on the golf course. So make sure you stay tuned for the whole video. Okay golfers, the first shot that we're going to hit is the low shot. We might need this if there's wind in our face, we're trying to flight the ball down a little bit, or maybe there's a low-hanging tree limb that we need to keep the ball underneath. So the 2 big things that we have to do to hit a low shot is we need to decrease the loft of the golf club, lower that loft, and we need to take away some speed. Speed creates spin, which makes the ball rise. So we need to have less loft presented at impact compared to a normal flight, and we need to slow down our speed to help keep the ball down. So the way that we're going to do that is, so for all 4 of these shots, I'm going to be hitting a 7-iron, just kind of a middle iron here. And to hit this shot lower, I need to do a couple of things. So the first thing we said is we need to lower the loft. So there's a couple ways that we can do that, and you need to try some of these things on your own and kind of test them out and see what works best for you. But for sure, we need to make sure that at impact that we have some shaft lean. Okay, so the more the shaft leans forward, it lowers that loft. We need to make sure that we have some shaft lean. And I personally think the easiest way is to start with a little bit more at address, right? So at impact is where we need to make sure we have the shaft lean. But I find it easier if you just go ahead and start with a little bit more at address. It makes it easier to return with a little bit more by the time we are at the golf ball. The second thing that you can do is you can play around with your ball position. I was taught growing up that you want to have the ball way back in your stance, and for some swing types that works. But for people that already hit down on the ball quite a bit with their swing shape, that might not actually benefit you. So I have found for me that just slightly back of center, maybe like a ball or so width back of center, works best for me in my swing shape. But you can play around with moving it a little further back and see what works best for you. So I have the ball slightly back, I have the handle leaning forward, and then I need to take away some speed. So for me, I like to feel like I'm taking about an 80% swing. So I'm not going to take it quite as far back or quite as far through. So I'm going to have a little bit lower backswing and a little bit lower follow through. That is going to produce a little bit less speed at impact, which is going to keep that ball flight down. Here we go. I got the ball slightly back, got the shaft leaning forward, and I'm going to take about 80% swing in both directions. That was a really good straight little bullet directly at my target, kept the ball flight down. Really great shot to have into the wind, really controlled shot. So ball back slightly, handle leaning forward, 80% on both sides. Okay, our second shot we're gonna do is the high golf shot. Opposite of the low shot, now we need to present a little bit more loft at impact ideally, and we need to up that speed. So speed creates more spin, more loft, and we want to make sure that we are maintaining the loft on our golf club. So setup wise, I'm going to have the ball slightly forward of center. I'm going to have the shaft a little bit more neutral. I don't want to lean the handle forward, which takes away that loft. And I'm going to make sure that I swing with a little bit more speed than a standard shot. And yes, this might bring in, some mishits, but that speed is necessary if we're really needing to launch that ball up. So maybe the greens are really firm and, we need that higher launch angle. So by having a higher ball flight, that ball is able to land a little bit steeper on the green, stop a little bit quicker. Or maybe there's a limb that we're like, my normal ball flight, I'm not quite sure could get over it. I want to try to hit it a little bit higher than my average shot. So these are the adjustments that we want to make. So I'm going to have the ball position a little forward of center, a little bit more neutral with the handle of the club, not leaning forward. And then I want to make sure that I have a higher finish, and that's going to help me hit the ball a little bit higher. Here we go. Oh yeah. Probably at least twice as high as that first low shot that I hit. So again, great shot to have if we want to land it a little bit softer on the greens, get it over a limb. We want to make sure we have a little bit more loft, a little bit more speed, and launch that ball nice and high. Okay, so for shot number 3, we're gonna hit the fade. So for a right-handed golfer, that's a shot that starts a little bit to the left of the target and wants to curve back to the right. Now, this is not my best shot in my bag. I tend to hit a draw for my natural ball flight, but I'm still going to attempt to hit the fade, and it's good to know how to do it. In order for the ball to fade, we have to have our club path and our club face in certain positions. So for the ball to curve to the right, if my target line is this orange stick, I need the ball to start to the left and curve to the right. So I need the path of my club to be swinging to the left of my target line and to the left of my club face. So in order to hit this shot from a normal square stance, I'm gonna go ahead and line up my body more down the left side of that fairway or left side of the green to help it be easier for that path to swing a little bit more outside in and to the left. Now, our club face needs to be to the right of our path, but still a little bit to the left of our target, because I need the ball to start a little left if I'm planning on it curving back to the right. If it starts straight and fades, will always be to the right of our target. So I'm going to align left with my body. I'm going to have the club face slightly left of my target. And then the big thing we want to make sure that we don't do when we're trying to hit a fade is have a lot of club face rotation. Because if I swing left and get that club face closed, I'm just going to hit a straight pull to the left. So our hands and our body are going to feel a little bit more passive through impact. We're going to rotate our body to help get that path swinging to the left, but our club face is going to feel like it's staying pretty stable and not over closing. All right, so let's see how I do. So I'm going to line to the left of my target, get the club face slightly to the left of my target, and I'm going to have passive hands as I try to swing more along the line of my feet. That might actually be the best fade that I've hit in years. It's pretty good. Okay, so again, body lined left, club face slightly left of the target, and then feel a little bit more passive with the hands, not a lot of club face rotation, and swinging outside in, more along the line of your feet to hit that fade. Okay, and our fourth and final shot is the draw, a ball that starts a little to the right and falls to the left. And this is kind of the coveted shot that so many golfers want to hit, right? So many amateurs struggle with the slice. So being able to hit this shot is definitely one that most of you would really strive to be able to hit. So let's talk about what makes the ball draw. So again, for a right-handed golfer, just like the fade, we have to have a certain club path and club face relationship in order for the ball to start to the right of our target and curve back to the left. So opposite of the fade, we need to have our body lines a little bit more to the right because we need our path and our swing direction to be a little bit more inside out. We need that club path to be swinging more out to the right of our target. And we need the club face to be to the right of our target, but to the left of our path. So the way that I like to set up for it is, again, if the orange stick is square to my target line, I'm going to get my body lined up more to the right side of the fairway because I'm having the ball draw back in. And then I'm going to have my club face slightly to the right of the target, but to the left of my path. And then I'm going to try to swing out on the line of my feet and have that ball curve back. Perfect little push draw there. Ball started to the right, curved to the left. Again, really great shot for a lot of us golfers to be able to learn, but we want to know how to hit all four. Now, do I want most amateur golfers trying to hit fades and draws during the majority of their round? Not really. We want to find one ball flight for the majority of our round and be able to stick to it. But there are definitely certain scenarios when knowing how to curve the ball to the right or knowing how to curve the ball to the left, and certainly hitting it high and low, can be super beneficial. And I would even venture to say knowing how to do the opposite, right? So if you're somebody that tends to slice the ball, or let's say that you're out on the golf course and for some whatever reason, that ball is just hooking on you, right? More than it normally does. If we know how to do the opposite, if the ball is curving excessively to the left and we know how to make the ball curve to the right, then we can have that feel to try to neutralize our ball flight a little bit. So knowing how to hit these shots is super important to not only being able to curve the ball certain directions, but also being able to fix our own golf swings if things get too extreme in either direction. So I hope this video helps you. Please let me know in the comments and let me know which one of these is the hardest for you to do. For me, it's definitely the fade. And if you like this video, I would love if you would subscribe. That way I can continue to bring you content like this every week. And if you'd like to work with me one-on-one, a little bit more individually, we can do so through the Skillest app, and I have that link in the description below. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you later.